everyone, welcome to Reviewia Talks. Today we are going to discuss about something that we're observing off late when it comes to candidate behavior in the market. So for the past few months, we've seen a surge in hiring in a lot of sectors. A lot of sectors are recovering from the COVID-19 crisis, and we see that especially the technology sector, is seeing a huge surge when it comes to talent needs. We see similar requirements coming up in large numbers in consulting, in outsourcing kind of jobs. All of these seem to, not only be recovering from the COVID-19 crisis, but in a way, demand for their offerings, seem to have increased. Consumer behavior when it comes to technology adoption, outsourcing, engaging consulting services seems to have increased, because of the COVID-19 situation. Now, because of this surge in demand, there is a whole lot of candidates who are getting offered, who are getting valued at a much higher salary than typically what they would command in the market. And to add to that, what is happening is a lot of these candidates, by the time they are close to the joining date, are dropping the offer that they originally received from prospective employer and actually joining another employer who has offered a more lucrative opportunity in terms of compensation. Now, what is at the heart of this behavior? At the heart of this behavior is a company practice, an industry practice in India, which is a notice period of 3 months. In most organizations, for most roles, unless it's a very junior role, the notice period which a candidate has to serve is 3 months. If not 3 months, it is at least 2 months, which is 60 days. Now, this is having a domino effect. What happens, let's consider what is happening to the employer whose employee has just resigned. Now, you have 90 days to hold back this employee to take his or her services and initiate a replacement process. While at max you can have this employee only for 90 days, because competing employers also have a 90-day notice period, it is allowing your prospective employees also more time to shop around. That person is not only attending interviews for you, he or she is attending interviews with other organizations as well, even if the person has secured a decent offer from you, because he or she has more time, will be on notice for another couple of months, is left with more time to explore new opportunities. And they are using your offer to negotiate for a better offer in terms of compensation. And finally, in case there is very limited loyalty that you have been able to generate on part of the prospective employee, chances are that they will not join you. They will typically go for the most lucrative offer financially. So at the heart of it is this industry practice of 3 months notice, which might have been made thinking that, okay, I will hold back the employee for 90 days, which will give me enough time to find a replacement. But as you can see, it is actually backfiring. So if you have a 1 month notice, largely if the industry has only 1 month notice, then what happens, even your prospective candidate whom you have offered a job doesn't get enough time to shop around. He or she has to join you within that 30 days of notice period. So my request to whoever is watching, if you are from the HR fraternity, if you are a decision maker in your organization, if you are an influencer in the corporate fraternity, please try to influence this policy across the board. I think this definitely calls for serious attention from a lot of senior business leaders, especially from these industries like technology, outsourcing, consulting, because these are the companies which are bearing the maximum brunt of this behavior. And I don't see this changing. This will only make it more and more difficult to attract and onboard talent. So that's my view and request to all the influencers and senior business leaders. You need not be only from HR. Even if you're a business leader or a CEO, it is your organization which is hurting. Unless you're able to onboard talent, your business won't get impacted positively, right? And so it's a direct impact on your, you know, business metrics, not just a problem of your HR leader or your talent acquisition leader. So my humble request to, you know, the business leaders to come together, review this 3 month notice period policy, because it is actually not serving the purpose. It is triggering counterintuitive behavior on the part of the candidates. That's my suggestion to the employers. Now, coming to the employees or candidates. Now, my message to you is, see, it might look very tempting when you're getting one offer after another. The first one gave you a 30% hike, and then on the second one, you negotiated with this offer and eventually got a 60% or 80% hike on your current salary. It might look great. It might be a quick win financially for now, but it is almost certain that, you know, because of lack of, you know, talent, if an employer is ready to overpay you and get you on board, it'll be very difficult for the employer to keep justifying, you know, market standard increments in the future. Okay, in fact, there are instances where I won't name organizations, but there are large, you know, technology companies who onboard talent by giving them a beyond market standard hike, but in the following 2 3 years they give low single digit increments, and the justification is, oh, you know what, you're already outpriced when it comes to your peers in the company. We paid through our nose when we had to onboard you, so now we can't really do much when it comes to increments. Now that will become very frustrating, you know, because you might have the luxury of changing jobs frequently once or twice in your career, but you can't do it every year. You can't make job shifts just because your increment in the previous employment was not market standard. So think before you take the leap, okay? And also making a choice only basis commercials, basis salaries is not the most intelligent way to choose an employer. Okay, so while compensation is important, this is a great time for you to, you know, get 100, 200, 300% high if you're a technology professional, or an analytics and or an artificial intelligence professional, or you are in the consulting or outsourcing industry. Employers are ready to pay for you, but understand they are ready to pay right now because there is a lot of urgency. Going forward, if you don't justify that salary, okay, trust me, it is going to come back and bite you. Okay, so please think through when you make these choices. It sounds great that, hey, in the bargain of notice period of 3 months I got three offers, and eventually now I'm going to have 150% more salary than what I had in my previous employment. But to sustain that, to justify that over a period of time, will take a lot of doing. So please think through this. And anyways, I'm not even talking about morality, whether it is an immoral thing, giving a commitment and taking back, etc. But one question that I will leave you with is that imagine if an employer did that. If an employer offered you a job and then just 2 days before you're joining revoked the offer letter, how would you feel? Okay. Now, please place yourself on the seat of the employer next time you think of dropping a job offer at the last moment for only a better salary. If there are other compelling reasons like career, overall opportunity, etc., it is still understandable. Okay, but you got to show some level of professionalism, some level of ethics and morality when it comes to honoring something, honoring a promise, so to speak. And as I said, it will not go down well if employers started behaving like that, dropping offers that they have given 2 days before you're joining. So my request to candidates through this talk is also to look at the medium term future. Don't get enamored by the 150%, 200% hike that you're getting right now. 2 years down the line, 1 year down the line, if you can't justify that salary, the employer would have to show you the door. Okay. So please think through this and make your career choice accordingly. I hope this talk would be useful for our viewers. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.